welcome back to the Matrix. And it's the Matrix you are. The Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger. Daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get into it, y'all. We got a quick one today. But I just want to hop on here and tell y'all we have confirmed putting in a higher low, and we've also today officially put in a higher high for Bitcoin. Wonderful, magnificent, chef's kiss. Okay, that is, ladies and gentlemen, what they call a clean as a whistle reversal, and very good. Now, a little bit hot here on the 5-hour RSI. Would not be weird in the slightest. Come back down here to the 382 at 114,000 before having a continuation and a push to the all-time high. That would not be weird, not even a little bit. So if you missed the dip, have no fear. All right? Have no fear. But the good news is October is here. I thought I had a meme for you. I don't have a meme. October is here, though. All right? We already know. The highest performing month for Bitcoin is October, November, and April. Those are the three highest performing months. We have got out of the worst performing month, followed by the best performing month. Beautiful. Wonderful. Magnificent. If you made it this far, you have not capitulated, then, ladies and gentlemen, you are a savage in my book. Now, everyone is freaking out about Bitcoin dominance. I would not be. All right. I, in fact, think that we are going to roll over. We've already we have a bearish divergence forming right now for Bitcoin. We can see that the RSI is going lower. Bitcoin dominance, excuse me. RSI is going lower as the price is going up. This is a clear bearish divergence. In fact, it's the same thing that happened last time before we ended up capitulating and rolling over. Now, we went 0.5% higher. It's important to note, though, we were on a 3-year uptrend. We are not on a 3-year uptrend. So this is much, much weaker. So I anticipate this to roll over, and we're going to really start to feel it in Ethereum, Solana, and everything in these ecosystems. Okay? That is my opinion. Let's take a look at Ethereum, and then we'll look at Solana, and then we will get into you guys' questions, comments, concerns. We can see Ethereum is waking up a bit, almost to the 0.5 Fibonacci. If Bitcoin were to roll over dead and then backtest the prior range as with another higher low after making a higher high, I would expect Ethereum to do the same. Again, good opportunities here, 4,100, 4,150, before having a continuation. I think that by the 21st of October, Bitcoin is going to be threatening, if not outright, in the 130,000 range. And Ethereum will be threatening, if not all outright, into the $6,000 range. And of course, with it, Solana will go as well. So I think, we're going to be threatening with a lot of these blue chippers, as well as Bitcoin making an all-time high. Bitcoin getting into the $130,000 range, to me, is when euphoria is here. Okay. And what did I tell you guys yesterday? How quickly? Like, I haven't heard a single tweet. I haven't heard a single post. I haven't heard a nothing about government shutdown. Is the government still shut down? Because that's all we were talking about yesterday. If I've said it once, I've said it 736 times. Nothing like price will change sentiment. How much price action do we need, you might be asking? How about 5%? A 5% move on Ethereum And then all of a sudden, nobody's worried about government shutdowns anymore. Can we shut the government down more often, please? I haven't heard a whimper about it. Not a whimper. I'm not going to let y'all forget how y'all was on my neck about government shutdowns. Y'all was on my neck about government shutdowns. And now we're up 5%. I am not sure. Are they still shut down? Somebody check on the government. Are they still shut down? Because I ain't heard nothing about it. Just like I told you yesterday, it is hard to articulate. That we experienced a little bit of it today. If you can just remember, not through revisionist history, but if you can just remember through the lens of what we were just talking about yesterday versus today, 5% move. It is hard to articulate to you guys the difference that the sentiment will be between $4,300 and $5,000 Ethereum. My, oh me, oh my. If you thought that we forgot about government shutdowns for a 5% move, wait until Ethereum is at a new all-time high. Wait until Ethereum is at a new all-time high. Y'all think that this sentiment flipped quickly. Wait until Ethereum is at a new all-time high. Because I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. Retail does not believe. They never will believe until it's at an all-time high. I don't know why retail is this way, but retail is this way. They do not believe in any rallies until we're already at all-time highs. They will disbelieve it all the way up until we're at all-time highs. All right. Let's take a look at Solana. Then we'll get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. Solana, same thing. Clearly, macro uptrend here. Higher low, higher low, higher low. This isn't a trend. This is what I drew on CoinMarketCap back in... when did I draw this? I think it was July. I think it was July I drew this. You guys might be thinking that this is a... that's a trend line that Ski drew. No, it's not. No, it is not. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Where is it? Was it June? I thought it was July. Maybe it was July. I want to show y'all because I have receipts. I have receipts. Here it is. Boom. Y'all might think that that's a trend line that I drew, that little dotted line. It is not. This is what we marked out for Solana when it was at $80 billion market cap. This was July 10th, 2025. This is not a trend line that I'm showing you. Okay? That's what we drew out in July. This isn't a trend line. What was the price in July? What was the price? Just for funsies. July 10th. Somebody tell me. Somebody. July. Here we go. $157. That's what the price was. So listen, this is still in the markup phase. The big thing is going to be getting above the all-time highs. Price is, or market cap's already fighting with it right now. It could do exactly what we have drawn out for Bitcoin if Bitcoin gets rejected to back to the $111 billion range. Would not be weird. Okay. Dynex is flying. You love to see it. Love me some Dynex. Let her rip. 64% today. Great heavens. That's pretty good. Great heavens. That's pretty good. Yeah, I would love to see another higher again. That would be beautiful. That would mean we'd have multiple higher lows and multiple higher highs. When will altcoins peak, do you think? Since December of 2022, I have said November, December of 2025. That is still my answer. And this is just a microcosm of the entire market. Do you understand? Dynex is up 64%. Not this week. Nope. Not this month. Not this year. Today. Today, Junior. Today, Timmy. Retail does not believe in rallies until they're over. This is a microcosm of what we are going to see when the actual euphoria is here. You have not experienced it yet if you haven't been in this game since 2020. You haven't experienced going from boring to euphoric. Unless you've been invested in cryptocurrency since 2020, you have not experienced that. I've experienced it 2 times. 2.5. I'm already working on blaming the next pullback on you. I believe you. I believe you. I just put out a tweet today. You're telling the truth is the funny thing. I believe you. I believe you, bro. Because that's really what it's going to be like. That's really what it's going to be like. We're going to hear all about government shutdowns. We're going to hear about it. We're the place where all the action is. You don't mean. Oh, I mean. I just put out this tweet today. Where'd it go? Is everyone good on government shutdowns and Bitcoin dominance or same time next dip? Same time next dip? Okay. I'll see you there, bro. I'll see you there. Wouldn't miss it for the world. I'll see you there. Be there or be square. If you're square, you're not around. Listen, I already know how it is. I already know how y'all are. Same time next dip. Same time next dip. Be there. ETH price target 7,200. When alt season. Love your work, mate. Yeah, savage. Appreciate you, brother. XRP 5812. Sona community. Pack it up, boys. Government's closed. When is the parabolic phase? Next. Y'all don't believe it because you've never experienced it. Unless you've been in crypto since 2020, you've never experienced a transition from boring to euphoric. Unless you've been invested in crypto since 2020. I didn't say 2021. Right? Because a lot of y'all FOMO'd into crypto in 2021, and this is your reality. This is not real. But unless you were buying crypto in 2020, before and after the C19 crash, and flipped from bearish to euphoric, you haven't experienced it. You have nothing to gauge off of how it actually behaves. Are we peaking this year? I think so. Ski Toshi. Why wasn't Dynex on your radar? Alex says he doesn't think we get parabolic, euphoric. I don't agree. I haven't watched this. A lot of times you guys tell me people said certain things, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're lying, but I know that a lot of people misconstrue a lot of things that I say. So unless I watch it, I don't have any opinions. Dude, how do I subscribe? You can subscribe on TikTok. You can subscribe on YouTube. I'll take a look at it, though. But listen, I don't have any opinions. I'll talk to Alex tomorrow. Right? No. Friday. Me and Friday. I'll talk to him about it on Friday. Yo, brother, thank you for everything you do. Appreciate it. At least 20 to 25 cents for Solnick. Absolutely. Ski, you're a legend. Thank you. I appreciate it, Cole. Tripled my Dynex bag this dip. Let's freaking go, Cole. How does it feel? 65%. What is that? How many years? How many years is that? That's 11 years of stock market gains, Cole. How does it feel to get 11 years of your life back? Imagine the alternative. Going to work, clocking in your 9 to 5, asking Patricia, can I please get off on Tuesday to take my kids to their appointment? Patricia, please, I need to go on a vacation. Please. For 11 years, you faithfully go to work. You clock in. You grind. You sit in traffic. You sit on the bus with your swamp behind because it's hot. For 11 years, you're grinding 40 hours, faithfully contributing to your 401k, and Dynex says, hold my beer, bro. I'm doing it today. You just got back 11 years of your life, bro, and I'm pumped for you. Let's go. Come on now, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I appreciate you, brother. What up? Solnick moving today. Yes, sir. My number one 100x play. Everyone's going to be pissed at me. They sure are. They sure are. Shoved in a couple of G's on the beard bet. Let's go. 10 cents for the beard bet. For, what is that? For VeChain. I have 2 open beard bets. Charles, thanks for becoming a member. You savage, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I appreciate you. How do we buy Solnick, and what percentage should we allocate? You can buy Solnick on Phantom, Jupiter, SetoX, Coinbase Wallet, Radium, Crypto.com wallet. What percentage should you allocate? I would say the same for Solnick for every investment, like DCA. With the timeline of, whatever you can't afford to not have for the next 3 years, you probably shouldn't invest. It's the same. The rules of finance are the rules of finance for everything. From current price levels. That's right. The rules of finance are the rules of finance. Hey, Ski, what is up, fam? Good to see you, Frenchie Bulldog. Can you go over some tokens on your value list? Well, this was one of them. Dynex was one of them. It's up 65% today. All re-racked. Hi, Ski. Second time in your live with you here. Good to have you, bro. Dots on Dot. I like Dot. Smash the like button. That's right. Smash that like button. Hit the share so other people can smash that like button. How you doing, bro? October starts with a bang. Kicks it out to Bosch. Won't go. Rondo, rebound. Corner, bang. If alts peak November, December, then Bitcoin should already now in October be beginning of November. What are you asking me, fam? Dots 2040 100. If Bitcoin peaks in 2025, what are the chances it hits a new all-time high in 2026? Pretty good. Listen, one thing that I will like to the 4-year cycle is dead crowd. I will say, we'll talk about the bear market, right? What I think people think is going to happen is, you know, we're going to get to a certain point. We're going to roll over. People are going to say we're in a bear market. And then they're going to be like, see you in 4 years, right? One thing that I am quite certain of right now, especially for Bitcoin, this idea that we're going to get 70% corrections, I don't think so. I think we'll be lucky to get a 40% correction. That's what I think. So, chances of a new all-time high in 2026, not bad. Even if it's still, if everything is equal, I still think pretty good. It says finally a real trader. You're the effing goat. Are we wrecked? Top value plays right now. Solnic, HNT, Rose, ICP, Shiba, Dent, VChain, Naka, IOTA, Flux, Theta, Krill, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, Sauce, Hee Crow, Phantom, XYO, ADA, Link, XNO, Fat Cat, AR. Credible says curve hits $10 a cycle. Your thoughts? I don't know who that is. Let's see. $10. I think that's reasonable. That's the 1618. I don't know what the tokenomics on Curve are. Let's see here. Why is this white? Thank you. I don't know what the tokenomics are. Ooh, a little bit of inflation here, about 50%. $10. I'm going to say $10 is possible, not probable. I think more probable is $3. Possible, not probable. Sonic ETF in 2028. You never know. I know that they've streamlined the approval process, so you never know. Likelihood scenario 138. I think that's the highest probability. What's your percentage chance we get in the banana zone to 207? 30% chance. 35%. Are you confident in saying the local bottom's in yet? Yeah, for sure. I already put that out that I said it. I didn't put my beard on it because I'm not going to just do it every. I need it to mean something for real. You know what I mean? So I'm not just going to do it for every. I know you guys want me to just bet my beard on everything. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bet. When I bet my beard, I want it to mean something for real. You know what I mean? But I did say over here, before we had this move, I'm as close to, I said I'm as close to betting my beard as I possibly can be without betting my beard that the bottom is in. That's what I said. I won't bet my. I will not be betting my beard on the Browns. Listen, do not take gambling advice on the Cleveland Browns from me because I don't have an ability to separate my heart from reality. I do have that ability with crypto. I don't have that ability with the Browns. So if I tell you the Browns are going to win, that is not good advice. That's my heart speaking. Has Bitcoin broken the retrace? Yes, Bitcoin put in a higher high. This is an official higher high here, and we've had a higher low. Showing lots of strength here. We're neutral on the daily, so we have room to go for sure. December top ski, probably. Thoughts on Algorand? Will it reach $4? I think $4 is somewhere in between possible and plausible. Discipline is discipline does. XRP target 5, 8, and 12. Thoughts on AVAX? I like AVAX. $180. What's the chance that the market will fall back down to these levels in the bear market? Pretty high, I would say. It depends on how high we're going to go, right? So I have a couple of scenarios, right? There is no like cookie cutter answer. I know you're not necessarily asking me for a cookie cutter answer, but people want a cookie cutter answer. But it's a nuanced thing, okay? That's the reality. So I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios here. We'll make this green. This deserves to be green, right? I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios. I have there you go. These are my two highest probability scenarios for Bitcoin. Okay? And let's mark this so we can reference it later. Because let's mark these. And then we'll do like this. Because I want to come back to this. There we go. Okay. So I have two scenarios. You could throw in another one, but for right now, we're just going to talk about these two scenarios. Okay. The most likely to me is 138K. So in order to figure out, like, where are we actually going in the bear market of, like, 2026, maybe 2029? Where are we going? What we first need to figure out is where are we going upside first, right? Because you're not going to go into a bear market unless you're, like, this seems very simple, but it's an overlooked factor that people don't seem to recognize. In order to go in a bear market, you must first go into a bull market. I don't know how people like skip that step. It seems like a pretty obvious one to me, but let's put it out there. I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, but in order to go into a bear market, you first have to go into a bull market, okay? So, with the question of where are we going in the bear market of what I presume to be 2026, 2027, that would first imply the first part of that equation is going to be, where are we going in the bull market? Okay, everyone with me? Put in the chat, I'm with you, Ski, if you're with me. All right, so first scenario would be 138. That's the most likely for Bitcoin. And within the reasonable realm of plausibility would be 207. Okay. Now, if we go to 138, I think the highest likely spot when we look at ROI, when we look at structure, when we look at support, is either 100K or into the 70s, probably 80K. That would be the highest likelihood in my opinion. There's a lot of support over here, right? A ton. Okay, and it's going to be difficult to break that. Not impossible, but difficult. That would be the highest likely probability. Now, from scenario number 2, 207, we're probably only coming back to 138. Maybe we get to 100. That's going to have the most downside, is the most upside. Because every yen, there's a yang. That's what the market is. It's balance. It's trying to find balance. So in order, like, people are like paranoid all the time, and they have this feeling, they have this thought, we're going to crash 99%. Well, it's like, you need to have crazy upside first. Because if you don't, there's no imbalance. You need to have life-changing upside in order to have that. If you don't, there's no imbalance for the market to balance itself. Okay? If you start viewing the market less about trading and all this other stuff, and you just start viewing about where are the imbalances, it becomes a lot simpler of a game. With you, Ski. I'm with you. So there you go. With you, oh captain, my captain. All right. We'll do one more crypto question. Any sort of question. And then I got to hop off here. Today's a quick one. Whatever I find to be the most interesting question, that's what we're going to answer. And then I got to hop off here. Makes me feel like a type of way. Think we'll get a pullback shakeout. Who's better at charting, William Watson or Doug? Listen, the first time I ever met Doug was on the podcast we did, so I'm not familiar with his game. I'm not familiar with this game like that. But I'm happy to learn. I think he's a solid dude, it seems like. Bitcoin from 15 to 115, pretty dramatic upside. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's a good way of thinking. However, here are imbalances. Okay, so that's a good way of thinking. Here's an imbalance, though. What I'm referring to of dramatic upside, when you don't have any reaccumulations, you don't have any corrections. And did it go from 15K to 118K? Yes, it did. But were there bottoms formed along the way? Yes, there was. Was it a straight line like this? No. Was it a straight line like this? No, it was not. Was there an imbalance created like this? No. No, there was not. Was there an imbalance created like this? No, there was not. Also, what are we measuring it in? What are we measuring? What are we measuring Bitcoin in? We're measuring it in the dollar. Is the dollar the same that it was in 2022? No, it is not. No, it is not. You see, the US dollar is not a finite asset. In fact, since 2020, 85% of all of the United States dollars that have ever existed in the history of the United States dollars have been created since 2020. So when you factor in, there's been many bottoms along the way, many bottoms of support that have been created along the way. And the thing that we are measuring it in is not worth the thing that we're measuring in. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, but $100 bill does not equal $100 bill. Would you rather have $100 in 1970 or $100 today? Let me know. You should have a weekly podcast with Alvarez. I am down. $100 is the new 20. $100 is the new 5. $100 is the new 5. All right, guys. I know it was a quick one. I'll be longer live tomorrow. I was running late today. Trying to get back on schedule again. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. If your boy skis crypto, anybody using my name, image, or likeness messages you, I promise you it's not me. I promise, every time. Not sometimes, not part of the time, every time. Every time, every time. Every time, it is not me. It is not me. All right? I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity.